Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the Vapor Power and specifically how it compares to the 6.0 Ruby 14 millimeter paddle. The Ruby 14 is the paddle I've been playing with for about 6 months or so. It's my main paddle, and I've been trying out the Vapor Power, as the new hot paddle, and I wanted to compare just these specifically because you've probably already seen videos about the Vapor Power, but you may not have seen one comparing those two. So first of all, I will say that the Vapor has a faster swing weight, and I noticed that initially it was a little bit too fast for me when I was countering. I was coming early on the paddle, and I had to make a few modifications to make the Vapor like more playable, I would say. And the first one was I put a Hesk core on it and I regripped it. So the Hesk core kind of helps with some of the vibration because I felt like the Vapor actually vibrated a lot more than the Ruby does. You feel it a lot more. So some people like that, some people don't. But I put a Hesk core on there for some general muting. And then the other piece that I did was I've taken them off now, but I put some lead tape on down here in the bottom corners, and that really helped stabilize, slow down the paddle a little bit actually, because I felt like it was a little bit too fast and I was having trouble like getting a feel for it. And so I felt like doing those two things made this paddle much more playable. So definitely a tip if you're going to play with a Vapor. I would definitely recommend overgrip or Hesk core and having some lead tape, however you like the lead tape, but it definitely made it more playable. I like the feel of the Ruby better. I like the muted feel where I'm not getting as much vibration when I make my swing. I like the sweet spot on the Vapor. I think I probably hit fewer balls around the edges in general. I'm mostly hitting in the middle, but I felt like it did have a slightly bigger sweet spot, so I like that. But I noticed that near the top up here is a little bit dead, and I was kind of surprised by that. I don't have that on the Ruby. So if you ever hit a ball up in this region, it really felt a lot of vibration, and it really didn't do a very good job of like playing the ball. And then one of the other things that's different is the handles. I don't know if you can kind of see this, but the handle on the Vapor is a little bit more round, and I actually like that much better. I like how round it is. It just feels really good. The Ruby's handle is a little bit more like flat, and so it's just maybe a personal preference, but I kind of like the handle on the Vapor better. I definitely got more topspin with the Vapor. However, that could just be because it's a brand new paddle. So you get that new paddle grit, and that's always really nice. But I was definitely getting a lot of topspin on the drives, and it also has a very like hollow sound. So if you've heard the Mod or any of these other ones, it's not quite as bad as the Mod, but it definitely has a more hollow sound than the Ruby. And then finally, I will say it certainly has more power than the Ruby. And I felt like overall, I had a harder time controlling the paddle. So my drives were going out sometimes, my counters would sometimes go long, or my speed ups would go long. And I just felt like a lot more inconsistent with this. It has more power, which is kind of, the trade-off, power versus control. But, in the end, surprisingly, I think I'm actually going to stick with the Ruby 14 because I just don't feel like I can control this well enough. It's got plenty of power, and maybe if that's your thing, it's great. But for me, I just felt like I was not doing a very good job with serves. It's sometimes serving too long, and I felt like when I was speeded up, I was hitting it out by like a foot. And so I think I'm just going to stick with my Ruby.